Hey everyone, it is Wednesday. It is time for another happy hour hangout. I'm Jess and I'm so glad you are all here joining me this afternoon. Thanks for popping in 1 hour early. I was looking over at my schedule and I thought, it might be kind of cool to have somewhat of a regular schedule. Might be a little more consistent, easier for you all to have on your calendars. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to have you all here with me today. Let me know in chat how everything is sounding, if it sounds okay, if the visuals and audio sound okay. I'm gonna keep going and make sure everybody can tune in and make adjustments if needed, if I need to make any adjustments. Looks like everything is okay on my end. Thanks, Yakmanda. Yakmanda's in the chat. Thank you for that affirmation. So yeah, it's a couple days till Christmas, and I thought today I would do somewhat of a little bit of a chiller stream. I mean, a lot of my games that I stream on here aren't super intense because I want you all to feel like you can just come and sit down and participate. So today, oh, Gus or Not is here too. Happy Festivus. Yes, Festivus for the rest of us. So happy Festivus to you, Gus or Not. So today I'm going to be playing Qwixx. It is a Mensa Select game from Game Right Games, as well as some Criss Cross. So I'll do a couple games of each. They go fairly quickly. For those of you that have played it, you'll probably know that these games are really super straightforward. But if you want to take a moment to grab your materials, that is pretty awesome. So this week is going to be new for me as far as the streaming time goes. And I'm going to be attempting a kind of an adventure game puzzle on Friday when I do the Festive Fridays. I was playing One Deck Dungeon on Steam. And if you were following some of those videos, you could see that the dragon had the best of us for us. But this time, I think I'm going to attempt a story-driven. I have a couple games in mind that I want to play on Steam for Friday. So that's also 3 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. GMT. So please join me for that. But how is everyone else doing? Are you preparing for the holidays? I know some of us are going to still be in quarantine. I am coming out of a quarantine. So this is the last day of my quarantine time because a couple weeks ago, if you saw, we were traveling. We were out in Washington State and decided to just self-quarantine just to be on the safe side, try to stay healthy and prepare for any interactions that we're going to have over the Christmas weekend. So we wanted to make sure that it's going to be as safe as possible for the friends and family that we get to connect with. Yakmanda is making gingerbread houses tonight. Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. Do you have like a template, Yakmanda, that you're going off of, or is it just kind of like free form? Just get some icing and gingerbread and just slap some candy on it. I'm curious to how you're doing. Oh, decorating, not making. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was the actual like baking of the gingerbread too, because I know some people get all cray cray and they do that as well, which is totally fine. If you've got the time and you've got the materials, then go for it. But a lot of times it's more of just buying the box of stuff and then you just put everything together. So that's really cool. I was thinking about finding a gingerbread recipe online to do, but I hadn't found one yet. I think I'm still kind of nervous because gingerbread's one of those things where you can either make it super spicy and no one wants to eat it, or it comes out really bland. So I feel like there's kind of like that happy medium that needs to be found, and doing some like trial and error kind of things. So yeah, I haven't done any other like form of like holiday baking in terms of like decorating cookies or anything like that. A lot of mine have been just like cooking actual like dinner at home and having meals and leftovers and things. So perhaps this weekend we'll do some cookie decorating. We'll see. We'll see what the weekend holds. So yeah, for us, we are planning to possibly visit some family members, do it so like a little social distancing on Christmas. But my plan is to still be here so we can do the streams with you all. So yeah, okay, I think I have bantered enough. Let me grab a quick drink of water and then we'll get down to the table view and I'll start explaining how to play Qwixx. And I appreciate all of you being here today. Yeah, it's gonna be just a fairly chill stream. Nothing super complex. If you have played these games before, it should be pretty straightforward for you as well. So let me do this here. Let me know how that view is. Everything is looking all right. I've got my dice tower set up. I will be pulling the dice so you all can see from the dice tower, because each active player is going to take a different turn based upon what the dice are in the dice rolls. So the way Qwixx works is you are going to be trying to obtain as many points as possible based upon the numbers that get drawn out on the dice, as well as where you mark them in your player sheet. So how you can see on your player sheet is that there are 4 different colors: red, yellow, green, and blue, and they range from numbers 2 to 12. The red and yellow numbers start from 2 and go up to 12. The green and blue numbers start at 12 and go down to 2. So what you are trying to do is you're going to be grabbing pairs of dice to mark somewhere along these tracks. And the number of X's that you mark on these rows will be determined how many points you get based upon this table down here. And we will do scoring and things towards the end. But what's going to happen is these 6 dice are going to be rolled. So there's 1 of each of the color dice and then 2 of the white dice. If you are the active player, and I will be rotating between myself and the chat as far as being the active player, when you are the active player, you have 2 options. First, you get to pick the pair of dice in the white dice, and that is the number that you have the option to write in your player sheet. And the white dice are wild, so they can be used in any row here. So in this example, there are 2 white 4s, which means it would be an 8. So I could mark off an 8 somewhere on one of these rows. Then the second part of my action is I could take one of the color dice and pair it with one of the white dice in order to make a new number to mark as a second number somewhere along my track. So if I wanted to take the 8 here in the white dice, let's say I marked it on my sheet in the green section, and then I decide to take the green 2 and pair it with one of the white 4s, now it becomes a 6 in green because I chose to use the green die number to add to the white die. So I would mark a green 6, and that would conclude my turn. The pairings have to be the white dice together or one of the white dice with one of the color dice. And that's what you can choose from as the active player. And if you are the non-active player, so on my turn, if I rolled this, the chat would have the only option of marking the sum of the white dice together. So they would have the option of marking an 8 somewhere on their rows, just 1 8, or they can choose to pass. So if you are the non-active roller, you have the option of not marking anything. But For the active player, you must mark one of the two options or both of the options. So either marking the sum of the white dice or one white die with one color die, or both options. If for whatever reason, as the active player, you cannot do that, you will take a penalty. And the penalties are kind of what triggers towards the end of the game. If you reach up to 4 penalties, that ends the game. Another way the end game can happen is if one of the 4 color dice gets locked. How does that work? Well, on a row, if you have 5 X's marked, and they don't have to be adjacent to one another, they can be skipping numbers ahead if you want to. But when you have at least 5 X's marked on a row, you can choose to take one of the color dice and the sum of the very last number of that row to lock that die. So in this example, if I had 5 X's marked here on the green track and I wanted to lock green, I need to have the green dice with the white die be a sum of 2, because the 2 is what triggers the locking of green. So the 2 can either be on the wild dice. So let's say these 4s were actually 1s. Or I could have the green die be a 1 and pair it with one of the white ones. So if I chose to have the green be a 2, I could lock it, but only locking it if I have 5 or more X's previously marked on that same row. Once a die gets locked, it gets removed from the game. And once 2 dice are locked, then that also triggers the end of the game. Okay, let me just double check on that too to make sure that I did not misspeak on here, but I'm pretty sure that is all of those. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat. Let's see. So then once a die is locked for that row, then players can no longer mark in that row, even if it's wild. So with the die being removed from the game, if I remove the green die from the game, then that means no one can mark any more numbers in the green row. Yes, so it is 2 dice get locked, or if anyone has marked off 4 penalties. So if they cannot take any pairings, they must take a penalty. And once they reach their 4th penalty, then the game is over. Okay. So one last thing to note is the pairing on the white dice must be taken first before any pairing with a color die. So if I was the active player, I need to choose to mark the white 2 pairing first somewhere. And then if I chose to take a secondary option, then I would take the secondary option. So that is pretty much it. Yeah. I believe that is all. Okay. So I'm going to, let me grab my eraser. And I will move on I'll move the white dice off so you all can see who is the active player and who is the non-active player so you can see. But if no one has any questions in the chat, then we will go ahead and start us off here. I will go first as the active player. So chat, as the non-active player, this is your option to mark a 4. So you can mark a 4 on any of your rows. Oh, one last thing to mention, you must mark your numbers starting from left to right on your rows. You cannot backtrack on a row. So once you have skipped any numbers in a row, you cannot go back and fill them in later. Okay, so we're starting off with a 4. 4s are nice. They are nice for the red track and for the yellow track. However, having a 2 or 3 would have been nice too. But what I am going to do is I will take this 4 as a wild and mark it here on the red track. And then I will take the 3 of white and add it to the 2 of red and make a 5 red. So I will mark a 5 next to on the red track. So now I have 2 marked on the red track. All right, looks like Gus or Yak Manda are pretty good on those dice. So that is my turn as active player. Now it is chat as active and we will roll them up. Okay, so I get a 5 if I want to. That's a wild 5. Chat, you have the option of placing a wild 5 first and then taking a combination with one of the color dice. So you have a green 5, a yellow 5, a blue 6, and a red 3. Goes nicely with the 4 from the last round. That's right, Gus or not? That is correct. I think I'm actually going to pass up the 5, the wild 5, because the only 5 I can place is here. And I feel like skipping all of these lower numbers here in the yellow might be problematic for me. So I'm not going to take the 5 on wild. It looks like Gus or not is going to take the 5 and then pair it with a 6 on yellow. So they're going to take a 5 and a 6. Very nice. Cool, cool, cool. All right, moving on. So here we go. I'm the active player now. So chat, you get a 7 wild. 7 can be placed anywhere you would like. Oh, a 7. That just seems to be your lucky day, Gus or not, if you're working on the yellow track. I think I will take the 7, but I'll put it on my red because skipping 1 is not too terrible. Now, do I want to take a color pairing? These are working out pretty well. Yes, they are. Yellow is coming along nicely. That is very true. All right, so if I want to, I could do a 5 with the 5 in green and mark a green 10, or I could take a 5 with a 4 in blue and mark a blue 9. Or I can't do a red 4 because I already have it marked and I've already moved up on the red track. And on yellow, it would be a yellow 5 or a yellow 8. And I don't want to move that far up there. So I took that 7 and I think I'm going to mark the green 10 down here. At least starting along. Your red is coming along nicely. That's very cool. I'm glad that's working out for you. So I'm taking the green 10 and now we'll have the active roller be the chat and let's see what y'all get. Oh, so I get a wild 2 and you all get a wild 2. So I will put the 2 on my yellow, of course. starting off there. So for you, chat, you put a wild 2 anywhere you like, and then you have the option of pairing one of these wild dice with one in the color. Although I'm not sure what you would get if you're already working up. I think Gus or Not's already up here in the yellow track, so having a 6 yellow might not be great. A 3 in blue seems really, really tough to kind of skip all the way ahead. 4 in red, maybe. If you haven't started on your red track, you could do a 2 on the wild red and then maybe a 4. And then a green 2, the same situation with the blue. So, yep, that's not gonna work. Red 2, red 4. Oh, nice. Gus or Not did that. Took my advice there. So you got red 2 and red 4. Very, very nice. Okie doke. Finishing up with that turn. Have me be the active roller now. Let's see, what do we get? Oh, the blue one's jumping ship. So you all get a wild 5 to mark if you choose. And I have a bunch of low numbers. Well, that's not helpful. So wild 5 is not going to work. I could take a green 8 if I wanted to. The red 6 wouldn't work because I've already skipped over 6. Then it would be a red 3, which doesn't work because I've already skipped over that. Yellow 2, I have already marked. A yellow 5, I could mark here if I wanted to. The blue 5, that's way too far out, or a blue 8, I think is still too far out. So I think my best option is to take a green 8. Now I know I'm kind of skipping ahead on some of these numbers, but it's good to at least have something to work with on every row if you possibly can. But focusing on 1 or 2 rows could be a good strategy as well, because then you can see how many points that you can get. It kind of goes up a little bit incrementally. The numbers get higher and more points get scored, the more X's that you have in a row. So if you just want to focus on 1 or 2 rows, that's not a bad thing either. So, all right, chat, you've got a wild 5 if you want it. If not, I will roll it up for you as the active. Oh, this blue die does not want to participate today. There we go. All right, so I also have a wild 5, and you all as the actives get the wild 5 and one of these other options if you so choose. Again, with the wild 5, I am going to pass on that wild 5. I don't want to skip ahead too much. For those of you that are just joining, welcome. We are playing Qwixx. We are going to be playing a couple games of Qwixx, and then I'm going to walk you through how to play crisscross, and we'll play some crisscross. Doing a little bit of chill today. So yeah, I'm glad you all are joining. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know how your Wednesday is going. But thanks for being here. All right, so you all chat, you've got the option of the wild 5 to use and then one of these color. There's a yellow 7, not sure, Gus or Not, how your yellow track is working out, but the yellow 7 is pretty nice if you're still kind of on the lower end of the yellow row there. But yeah, got some higher blue, so that would be a blue 10. Blue 10 is not too bad if you want to start on the blue one. Oh yeah, went with the blue 10, wasn't tempted by the red 7. Okay. That's fair. We also got, yeah, red 10, red 7. You would get a yellow 7 possibly. Hitting the 7s is pretty common, especially for D6s, I've found. Was tempted. Oh, you were tempted. Okay. Hitting 7s is pretty common, I've noticed while playing this game. So I'm active, and ooh, chat, you get a wild 12 there. I also get a wild 12, so I am going to mark 12 on blue because that is fairly nice. And what do I want to pair it with? So I've got a 6 plus a 2, that would be a green 8, but I've already marked my green 8. I could do a blue 8, but that seems a little far for the 8s. A 7 in red, but I've already marked 7 in red, and 9 on the yellow. So I don't think I'm going to choose a second option, friends. I think I'm just going to take that blue in wild, or 12 in wild on blue. So I was hoping I could get a second number marked, but I don't think with these options are going to be fairly nice. So chat, you have to place a wild 12 if you want to. If you haven't started on your green or your blue side, that might be a good spot for you to start there. So, okie doke. Let us see what you all get. And let me know in the chat if you want to lock a die as well, because that will be end game there. So we are getting a wild 8. A wild 8 for anybody who would like a wild 8. And then chat, you've got a red 4, a yellow 1, a green 1, and a blue 3 to pair. Okay, Yakmanda took the green 12 last round. Very nice. So I've got an 8 to work with. Again, the 8s, ooh, I could mark it on my red. I think I will do that. So I will mark the wild here on red for me. I've got 4 X's now on my red track. So I'm looking to hopefully get a 5th one soon there. We shall see. We shall see. Okie doke, folks. So got yourself a wild 8, and then something here. So maybe if you had an 8-9, that would have been really nice if I was the active player. I would have loved to have the 8-9 combo there. You can get a blue 8 over here, or a blue 6 if you're cruising up the blue track. A yellow 4 would have been nice for myself too as the active player, but alas, not happening. So here we go. Chat. I am now active here. And the red is going bananas. So chat, you all and myself get a wild 11. That is fairly nice. There are either 3 good options or none. Yes. That is very true. Okay, so I'm marking the wild 11. Now, do I want to mark something else? So I have the option of a green 9, but I've already skipped, so that doesn't work for me. Or a green 8, but I've already marked it, so green is out. Yellow, I could do a yellow 10, but that is way too far up here. Or a yellow 9, which again is way too far for my liking. There is a red 8, but I've already marked the red 8, and a red 7. So I don't have any other options in the color dice, unfortunately. I will just do the wild. Gus or Not says, nice. I'm wondering if they have a good set here. I have a feeling that they might be locking a die soon. They were cruising up the yellow track. I have a feeling that might be something up their sleeve. Alrighty, friends, if you wanted to take the wild 11, go ahead and mark it. Otherwise, I will have you all be the active player now. And we get 7 there. So if anybody wants the 7, wild 7, otherwise as chat, as the active player, you have the wild 7 to take first and then pairing it with one of these here. So I will take the 7. I will mark it on my green track. That is very nice. So options for you, chat, you have a green 3 possibly. Maybe you are already cruising up there, or a green 8 somewhere down here. You can do a yellow 2. If you haven't started on yellow, that would be nice to start, starting on yellow there, a yellow 2, or a yellow 7 if you haven't gotten to the midsection yet. A red 10. Red 10 would be good for y'all if you chose it, or a red 5, or we've got a blue 2, which is over here, or a blue 7. Now in this situation, if you already had 5 other X's marked on blue, you could claim to lock the blue die because the 2 is an option to mark for you. But I don't think anyone is there quite yet. So let us roll again. All right, I am going to be the active player here, and I'm giving you all an 8. So we're gonna have a wild 8 for y'all to mark somewheres. Oh, goodness gracious. Now here's the choices, because I could mark the wild 8 here. That is my only option, instead of I want to jump way far ahead here. Or I could choose to not do it and just take the 9. Take the blue 9. I might do that instead. Or the red 9. Ooh, I think I might like the red 9 instead. Okay. Do you have to have 5 marked before you claim the last number, or does it count as the 5th? No, you must have 5 previous to that one before you can mark the 12 or the 2. Good question. Good question. So I'm going to skip that 8, and I'm just going to mark my red 9 here. Bummer summer, but that is how it goes. So you all have the option of marking 8 somewhere on your board if you want. If not, you can choose to pass. Totally fine. And we will roll it up. So chat is now the active player, and we have the option of a wild 10. So we got wild 10 to mark somewheres for all of us. And then, ooh, you've got some good options, chat. You could do a green 12 if you haven't started on your 12s, or a green 10 if you have started on your greens. You've got a red 11 here, or a red 9. You've got a yellow 9 or a yellow 7 if you're somewhere in the mid area, or you've got a blue 8 or a blue 6. So for me, I've got that 10. I am going to mark the 10 over here on the reds. I am cruising along on reds. Green 10, yellow 9. Very nice, Gus or not. So yes, you don't have to mark the wild on the same row as the color die combination. You can do it on separate rows. That is completely fine. However, you must write the combination of the wild dice first before you take a combination of the color dice. Okay? Cool, cool, cool. All right, I am active player now. Here we go, giving you all a 10, a wild 10. So do I want to mark a wild 10? I could do the wild 10 here on blue, and then I could also do a blue 9, which would be awesome sauce. I can't do the green at all because I've already passed up green 12 and I have a green 10 marked already. The red is not very helpful either because I already have 7 and 9 marked for the red, and yellow would be a yellow 8 or a yellow 10, and that's still a little far from me. So I'm going to take the wild, mark it on blue, and then I will take the 3 with the 6 and mark it as a blue 9 there. I don't want a 10, I know. Sometimes, as the game progresses, sometimes you just don't want those numbers anymore. It's like, okay, here we go. This is what we are stuck with. So okie doke, folks. Chat is now active. Let's see what y'all get. You are giving all of us a wild 9, and this is a 5. This is a yellow 5. It's just on the hump there. Okay. Ooh, if you have made it up to the reds, the 10 was optional since we weren't the active player. Yes, yes. Sorry, I missed that question. Yes, and you don't take penalties as the non-active player. So you only take a penalty if you are the active player. So currently, right now, you are active, chat. You are the active player. So the options you have are a wild 9 somewhere, or pairing it up with one of these beauties down here. So I get a 9. Do I want to mark a 9? I don't have a good spot for a 9, so I'll choose to pass. So yes, so you can either take the 9, you can choose to take the 9, or you take one of these other color options. Those are your 2 options. You don't have to do both. You can, and if you decide to take both, you must mark whatever the sum is on the wild dice first. Yes, good questions. So as the active roller, you have more options. You have the option of taking the wild, or if you choose not to do that, you can take one of the wild die and pair it with one of the color die, and that's your option. If you decide to not do either of them, then you take a penalty. If you decide to take both, you must write down the number from the wild dice first, then whatever combination you write from the color die secondary. All right, you are locking red. So that means that Yakmanda, you have 5 X's marked already up here, and you are choosing to take the red 12 because there's a 6 and 6 here, correct? If so, then go ahead and mark off the 12 here as an X, and I will remove the red from the game. So the only thing for me is I would try to mark as a number if I could on the red track with the wild dice because I'm the non-active player. So the only option I have is a wild 9. And unfortunately, I already have 9 marked on red. So it doesn't benefit me knowing that red is going to be locked now, but good job. So we are halfway through here. And what I like to do is I draw a vertical line or horizontal line, excuse me, through the row that I know is already have the die locked. So that way I know to not mark any more numbers in that row. Okie doke, I am active and I give you all a 3 wild. If you want to mark a 3 somewhere, I will mark a 3 somewhere. I will mark a 3 on my yellow track here. And so now my options are a green 2, no thanks. A green 3, no thanks. A blue 3, way too far out, or a blue 4, way too far out. a yellow 5, which is okay, or a yellow 6, which is okay. I think I'm going to choose the yellow 5 because just skipping one number is not too bad. So I took the 3 on the yellow, and then I chose to take the 4 with the 1 and place it on 5. No, thank you, says Gastronaut. You don't want a 3? Oh, you're already marking on yellow? Oh, I apologize. Okay, we are halfway through this game, folks. Nobody's taken any penalties yet. That's kind of nice. So here we go. Chat, you are active and you are giving me a 4. Oh, look at that. It knew that I skipped over the 4. So it's like, here, Jess, do you want a 4? No. So, okay, chat, you have a wild 4 to mark, and then you've got some options over here. You can do a green 9 or a green 7. You can do a blue 6 or a blue 4 or a yellow 7 or a yellow 5. Yeah, these numbers are not ideal. I would like to get something in the blue area, so having something in the 8, 7, 6s would be kind of nice. But yeah. Hey everybody, that's just joining. We are playing Qwixx. We are halfway through our game and we are going to be playing another one. So if you would like to play along, you are totally welcome to. Just go ahead and grab your player sheets and stuff. We will be wrapping up a good mount here in just a sec. So yeah, thanks for being here. All right. So chat, let's see what I give you all. I give you all a 6 as a wild. So I have an option. Ooh, that is very nice. I will take the wild 6, but where do I want to put that? I could put it here on yellow. I could put it here on green. However, I have a green 5, which I could pair with a 6. So I could do a 6 on green and on yellow. I think I will do that. So I will take the wild, put it on yellow, and then I will pair the 5 with the 1 over here. So chat, you have a wild 6 to mark somewhere. A wild 6. If you choose. We haven't been getting any really high numbers or really low numbers, so I'm kind of curious to see. Oh, but look at that. That was a 2. Sorry, I moved it with my hands. A wild 2 for us all, and chat, you are active, so you've got the wild 2 to mark, and then you've got one of these nice buttes over here. Unfortunately, I cannot lock. I cannot lock either blue nor green because I don't have 5 in a row yet. So having a blue 2, having a 2 in wild does not do anything for me, unfortunately. So yes, so you got some low numbers here, chat. You've got a blue 3 if you want. You've also got a green 2 or a yellow 6. Got some yellows. Can't lock it yet either, says Gus or not. Sorry about that. So yeah, I just as I'm saying, oh, we don't have any low numbers coming out. Here comes the low numbers, and I can't do anything with them. Wish I could take the blue 3, then the blue 2. Yes. Well, you unfortunately you can't, because how the rules state, you must take the white color dye combination first before the color dye combination. So bummer summer. All right, what do I get y'all as active? I give you all a 7. Okay, so we've got a wild 7. What's the benefit for locking and not locking? So having the lock means you gain an additional X on your row. And you are also preventing other players from marking X's on that row. And you are also adding to the end game trigger. So if you have 2 dice locked, the game ends. So you're kind of accelerating the end game happening when you lock those dice. There is a bonus, so you will get the bonus of having the additional X on your space here for the lock. And then so that prevents anyone else from getting that additional lock on that row. So we've got 7 here for the wild. I will mark a 7 for myself. And then what are my options? I've got a yellow 8 I could mark, which is nice. Yellow 7, which I just marked. I could do a blue 6 or a blue 5, but that's kind of jumping it. And the green's not so much. So I will take the yellow 8 as well. That's what I can do. I could potentially get more spaces by waiting. Yes, you could. You could wait, but you're also at the whim of rolling, making sure that there's either a 12 or a 2 that comes out, because that's the only way a die can be locked, is if a 2 or a 12 combination comes out. I could have locked blue on that last one, but I took the blue 3 instead because that is 1 more space on blue. No, you couldn't have locked blue because the wild was on the 2, and you have to take the wild combination first before taking a color combination. So if you wanted both combinations, it wouldn't work. You would have to mark the wild on a different row, and it couldn't be on blue. So yeah, even though you already had 5 X's marked on blue, yes. Unfortunately, that's the way the game has you do it. As the active roller, you still have to take the white combo first before you pair it with a color combo. So, oh, not both. You could have just done the 2 instead. Yes. Yeah, you could have done the wild on the green. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So if you decided to not do the wild and just take the color combo, then yes. But if you are doing both, you have to take the wild combination first. So yeah, but there is a benefit to waiting because you do have more opportunity to add more X's to a row. That is very true. All right, active chat. You all get a 5 wild, and then you've got these nice little options. So I have a 5 I can work with. That is totally great for me. I will mark a 5 on my greens. You could have blocked blue since you already had 5. Yep. The other benefit is now you get to probably start getting penalties with the rest of us as things get tighter. Oh yeah, getting penalties. And with the penalties are -5 too. So it's the funnest. Yeah, totally fun. All right, chat, you are active. So you have a wild 5 to mark, and then you have the option of choosing one of these color combos here. You are locking green now. Okay, so you already have 5 here. Yakmanda is locking green. So I already marked something on green. I can't mark anything else because I'm the non-active player. So my only option is the 5. So that will trigger the end of this game. We have locked green, folks. So now what you're going to do is count out the number of points based upon the grid here on the bottom. Gus Renat is also locking green. Fine. Good job to both of you. That sounded kind of mean, but yes, good job to both of you. Okay, so I'm going to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 X's give me 21 points, so I get 21 in red. I also have 6 here in yellow, so that's 21 in yellow. For my green, I have only 5. 5 gives me 15. For blue, I have 4, and 4 gives me 10. I don't have any penalties, so I won't get any minus points. So I have 21, 42, 52, 57, 67, 67 is my total there. 85 for guess or not. Very nice. Seems like you kind of stuck to one row a little bit harder than I did. Yakmanda, how did you do on that one? Got 67 on that time. I'm gonna flipsy dipsy here so we can start again. 85 also. Oh, wow. Well, we are going to play again and see if you all can get better score this time. I'm going to have chat start us off. So if you want to, and anyone else. Yeah. All right, kids, be nice. If anyone else wants to start, we are going to start game number 2 here. So chat will be the active player first, and then giving us all a wild 5, or excuse me, a wild 4. Wild 4 to start with. Oh, okay. Chat, you are the active player first. Do you want to take this wild 4? I don't. Or I do. Yeah, okay. You've pulled my arm, chat, even though you didn't say anything. You pulled my arm. All right. Here we go. We have got wild 4 for you as the active, and you've got a blue 4 or a blue 2, which is way high up here. You've got a green 8 or a green 6, kind of in the mid-range. A yellow 9 or a yellow 7, again, also in the mid-range. I will accept the 4. Okay. The red 8 or a red 6, which is kind of in this middle section here. So I guess your best bet probably right now on this first row is just to take the wild somewhere either on the red or the yellow. Okie doke. Let's see what I get on my first roll here is active. Okay, I give everybody a 5 wild, a wild 5. Oh, okie doke. That is all right. I will mark the wild 5 on yellow. And I will take the red 2. Red 2 is very nice. So chat, you get a wild 5. If you decided to take that wild 4 last time, then you've got a nice 5 to match up with it. A nice 5er to match up with it. All right, we're rolling again. We are rolling again, friends. All right, active chat. Oh my goodness, it's a wild 6, friends. Are we gonna get, just gonna have one of each going on here? One in the sequence. So everyone gets a wild 6, which is nice for me. I will take that. Thank you very much. Chat, you are active, so you get the wild 6 first, and then you've got some nice plethora over here. You can do a blue 10 or a blue 8. You can do a green 8 or a green 6 if you want to jump that far ahead. A red 3. Red 3 is nice. Red 5, possibly. Or we've got yellow 9 or a yellow 7, which is kind of in the higher ranges here. But if you want to jump, you can jump. Guess I'm just playing yellow. Okay, yeah. It looks that way for myself too, just playing yellow. All right, chat, that is your go. Now, as me as the active player, let us see what we got. Oh, giving everyone a wild 11. Wild 11. So for myself, I will take the 11 on green. And then I have the option, I can do a yellow 12, but I can't take it yet because I don't have 5 in a row. A yellow 11. It's kind of jumping too far ahead for my liking. A blue 7 or a blue 6. That's still a little bit far for myself. We've got a red 8, which is a little far away, or a red 7, and green 8, or green 7. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the 11 there. Just gonna stick with the 11. Yep, just gonna stick with the 11 here. Okie doke, friends. Chat is now active and you are giving all of us an 8, a wild 8 to play. And then you've got some low numbers there. So you want to do a wild 8? Yeah, why not? Just keep trucking along on yellow. Today is the yellow road for my second game here. So chat, you've got the the wild 8 to be playing, or you've got blue 10, blue 6, green 8, green 4, yellow 8, yellow 4. Well, yellow 4 could be nice if you haven't started on your yellow track, or a red 4, or red 8. Yeah. Yeah, the 8s coming out right now is not the greatest of times. I would like a little bit higher numbers so I can start filling in these bottom rows, and I would still like some lower numbers so I get my red game going. But alas, this is how the dice fall. Okie doke, I am active and I give us all a wild 5. Wild 5 here for us all. If you want a wild 5. I don't want a wild 5. I think I might take a red 4. Red 4. Yeah, because I can't do the yellow 8. I've already marked the yellow 8. Yellow 7, I've already skipped over. The green, the blue 6 or 5 is way too far out here. And the green, same deal. 4 and 3 is way too far out. So I'm going to just take a red 4. Gonna take a wild pass. Yes. Yeah. If we play this the other way, if you can take either or, it'd be nice. Oh, I could take a red 4 and a red 5, but you can't. So I'm choosing not to take the wild and just doing the color instead. So, geez. Is this the way this second game is going to go? We shall see. All right, chat, you are active and you are giving all of us a wild 9. Wild 9 there. Oh, okay. Wild 9 is nice for my yellow game, so I will do that. And now I am at 5 on the row of yellow, so I am looking to possibly lock yellow soon. Here we go. We've got for you all the wild 9, or you can do a red 7, red 4, blue 4, blue 7, green 4, green 7, or yellow 12. Locking yellow. Wow, you already have 5, Yakmanda. That's awesome. All right. So since I am the non-active player, the only option I have is marking a 9, which I did for my yellow game. So yellow is now locked. Very nicely done. Yellow is getting removed from the game. And here we go. I'm giving us all a wild 5. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I can do a wild 5 and then a red 6. So I will do the wild 5 here, marking it on my red track, and then I will take the red 5 plus the wild 1 and make a 6 and go like that. Okie doke. Yep, for those that are just joining, we are playing Qwixx. This is our second game of Qwixx. After this, we will be playing Criss Cross. If you're not familiar with Criss Cross, it's just a simple grid game marking symbols on a grid. So if you want to participate, feel free to grab some blank paper and a pen. And we will be wrapping up this game shortly. We are about halfway through. So yeah, feel free to say hi in the chat, or if you're just lurking, feel free to just say I'm lurking. Yeah, but thank you all for being here, and happy Wednesday. Okay, chat, you are active, so you are giving us all a wild 9. A wild 9, friends. And then you've got some nice, ooh, you've got a nice blue 11. If you haven't started on blue yet, a blue 8 possibly on 8 would be really nice. The red 11, if you've already got, you're getting closer maybe to locking red. Some smaller numbers on green, not too bad. So I have the option of marking a wild 9 somewhere. I think I'm just gonna pop it on green, so I'm only skipping over 1 number and not 3 numbers on that track. So there we go. Cool. So yeah, chat, you've got some options there, what you would like to do. What you would like to do. Grab some water real quick. Okie doke, I am active player now. See what we got. Giving us all a wild 8. Wild 8 for us all. And then we've got green 5, green 7 for me. Red 9, red 11. Ooh, a lot of stuff in blue. Okay, so first I gotta mark an 8. I will take the 8 on green. Then do I want to mark something else? Let's see. Could do a blue 10, but I have a feeling the 11, 12s are going to come out soon. I could do, ooh, jumping too far ahead on red, that might be a problem. And the green, I will do green 7. Okay. Cool. So chat, you've got an 8 to mark if you choose to mark an 8. Otherwise, here you are, active player, giving us all a 3. We got a wild 3 here. Oh, 3 is way too far ahead for my liking, so I'm going to choose pass. So chat, you all get a 3 to work with, and then you've got some options here. You've got a green 6, or a green 5, a blue 8 or a blue 7, a red 7 or a red 6 there. Yeah, going to with a 3 is just a little bit farther for my liking. Little farther for my liking. Oh, Dutch Yoda, thanks for the follow. Good to see you on here. I wish my notifications gave me a little bit better notice on here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope you are doing well, my friends. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Chat, you get a nice wild 6 if you chose. Wild 6. And I am the active player this time around, so I think I will take that wild 6. Mark it here on green. And then got green 8, green 6, nope. A red 10 or a red 8. Ooh, a red 8's not too bad. Blue, those are way too low for my liking, so I will take a red 8 as well there. Cool, cool, cool. All right, chat, if you wanted to take a 6, feel free to mark a 6 somewheres. If not, here you are as active. You were giving us all a wild 7. We've got a wild 7 here. Geez, I don't have anything marked on blue, and 7 is way too far out for my liking. Jeepers creepers. Okie doke. So let's see here. We have got a blue 11. If you haven't started on blue, that would be nice for y'all. Blue 8, green 4, green 7, red 6, or a red 9. Oh, that red 9 would have been beautiful if I was the active player. Seems like chat is getting a lot of the numbers that I would like, and it seems like the numbers that I'm getting is what chat wants. So there we go. It's kind of a flip-flop here. Flip-flop with everything. So, all right, chat, you've got those options. Take your wild 7 if you want, and another pair or not. And again, if I didn't mention it, if you can't take any combination, you must take a penalty. So here we go, wild 8 for you, chat. And I've got some options. Do I want to mark an 8? I don't want to mark an 8. 8 is way too far out for my liking. So what are my options? I have got a red 10, which I could do, which is nice. A red 6 that I already skipped over. I've got a yellow 7, which I've already marked, or sorry, yellow, what am I talking about? Green 7 I've already marked, or a green 3, which is, it's okay. Green 3 is okay. Or I've got a blue 10. I could start on blue finally, or a blue 6. I'm gonna do the red 10 instead there. Red 10. Cool, 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 cool. So chat, if you want to take a wild 8, you can choose to do so. If not, we'll skip. All right, chat is now active. We've got a wild 11 for everybody, which is fairly nice for myself. I will take that wild 11. Chat, you have a wild 11, and then the possibility of blue 10 or blue 9, green 6, green 7, red 8, red 9. And I'm surprised no one has gotten it yet to lock any other dice. All righty. Let's see what we've got for myself being active here. Okay, we've got a wild 7 for us all. Red 9 or green 6 choices. I know, such choices. So, oh wait, that was chat now has the active. Seven. Oof, no thank you. Oh, okay, you all were the active. Thank you. I thought you all were. So I was placing it correctly. Okay. So non-active, I am the active player now. So chat, you all get a 7 if you want. For me, I get to choose. Oh, look at that. Fancy, fancy. 7 ship has sailed. All right, so I am not going to take that. I'm going to mark the 12 here. So I'm going to lock red to end the game here, folks. So chat, you've got a wild 7 to mark somewheres. Yeah, but I want the blue 5. I know you do, but it's not going to happen today. Okay, let's add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 X's, which is 36 points. 5 on yellow, which is 15. I've got 5 on green, which is also 15. A 0 on blue, unfortunately, and no penalties. So we've got 30, 66. Goodness me, what did I get last time? 67. Wow, 1 point difference. How crazy. Yes, Gustronaut was correct. You all were the active last turn. So then this is my active roll, and I'm choosing to lock red. 46, not so great. No, not great. Unfortunately for you. Sorry about that, Gustronaut. How did Yakmanda? How did you all do? I only got 1 point difference. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. 66 this time, 67 last time. Did not get better. 59, yeah. Sometimes the dice just are not in your favor, and other times they can be in your favor super well. So you have a really, really awesome game. But there we go, friends. That is Qwixx, and I will get us set up here for Criss Cross. You want to take a second to get your player sheets and things ready. I'm going to slide this over here, get our player sheets ready. If you have not played Criss Cross, you will need to draw a grid that looks something like this. So you will have a 5 by 5 grid, and you will have 5 squares going up this way, 5 squares going across this way, and then you will need this extra row here for scoring, and an extra row down here for scoring. So I'll give you all a second. Am I the only one who hears applesauce every time you say crisscross? Yes, crisscross applesauce. But that could also be because you're in education too, Yakmanda. Working with kids, sometimes that happens, hearing things in your mind. Okay, so in this game, you are trying to connect symbols together in rows and columns, orthogonally adjacent to one another, and then one diagonally adjacent to each other. And you will do that based upon these two dice. There are 6 dice, 6 sides of the dice, 6 different symbols. So in this 5x5 grid, you are trying to connect symbols to be touching one another because they give you a certain amount of points for every sequence of numbers that you have. If you have 2 numbers that are touching, or 2 symbols, excuse me, I keep saying numbers. If you have 2 symbols that are touching one another, you will get 2 points. If you have 3 of a kind, you will get 3 points. If you have 4, you will get 8 points. And if you have 5 in a row or in a column, you will get 10 points. However, if you don't have any matching symbols in a row or column, you will get -5. So let's say, for example, you have 2 pound signs. That will give you 2 points in this row. If you have 3 pound signs, maybe going down this way, that'll give you 3 points down here in the row. If you have a pound sign and a circle and here and an X and a slash, none of these are matching in the column, so you will get -5. Now the kicker is here, orthogonally. Yes, orthogonally adjacent. But playing enough board games, Yakmanda, you will learn the word orthogonally is used a lot in gaming. For the diagonal, if you get, let's say you have 4 in a row here, that is 4 diagonal, you will get 8 points, but on the diagonal, you will score it twice. So you will score here and here. So because I have 4 circles, that was giving me 8 points. So I score here and here. Then I add up all the points in this column and in this row. And this is your final total here down at the bottom. All right, there are 6 symbols. Everyone will start with a different symbol in the upper left-hand corner. So let me know if you all are going to play in the chat, and I can know how many times to roll for us here. Now, once the rolls happen, I will roll the two dice every turn. The symbols must be placed next to each other so that they are orthogonally adjacent to one another. So we will each start with a symbol here in the upper left-hand corner. I will roll the 2 dice, and those 2 symbols must touch each other somewhere on this grid, orthogonally adjacent. So that means north, south, east, west, okay, to one another. They don't necessarily have to be orthogonally adjacent to something that you've already drawn. However, remember, any of the matching symbols in a row or in a column or in this diagonal will give you points. So placement rules matter. So we are all start with a symbol here in the upper left-hand corner. And as play continues, you will place the 2 symbols anywhere here on your grid, making sure they are adjacent. And there could be a possibility that the way that you place your symbols could limit the amount of spaces that you actually get to fill in for the game. So if any of you have ever played King Domino, you will notice that those tiles usually have, 2 squares. They're 2 squares long. So placement of them, think about it in that shape, as if this was like a tile that is like a 1x2. So think of it as kind of like a tile in that way, if it helps you visually remember. So, okay, I've got Gus or Not is in, Yakmanda is in, and we are going to be good to go. All right, so Gus or Not, your starter symbol is the 3 lines. Yakmanda, your starter symbol is the slash. So Gus or Not's got the 3 lines, Yakmanda's got the slash, and my starter symbol is the triangle. All right, so we're each going to draw our own in here. This game plays up to 6, if you can already figure that out with the 6 different symbols. Starting out, just kind of having their own symbol to start with kind of just gives a little bit of a variety to the game. So there really is no benefit in terms of what symbols are, because you're all basically off the luck of the dice. All right, so here we go. Starting us off, we've got a slash and an X. So that's beneficial for Yakmanda, since she's got the slash as her starter, but neither Gus or myself have that. So I'm thinking of doing the X and a slash. See how that works for myself here. And we will roll again. Pound sign and 3 lines. All right, well, seems like now that things are not in my favor here. Where shall I place? Let's see if I can do some pound sign and 3 lines. Okay. I would like a triangle, dice. Can you give me a triangle here? Of course not. We've got an X and an O. So I'm going to place my X here, place an O here. So now I've got 2 X's in a row there, which I know I'm gonna at least get a couple points there. That is fairly nice for myself. And take a quick sip of water. And we'll roll them up. There we are. So we've got a triangle and an O. I do triangle and an O. All right. This is a great game. You could teach with all levels of gamer. And basically you can just use regular D6s if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to have symbols on them. You can just mark numbers instead in a grid, and people can just draw the 5x5 grid if you wanted to. So, or I know that they do have some dice that have some cool symbols on them as well. So this is a very, very fun, easy to teach, easy to learn game. All right, we got a pound sign and an X. Oh, this is perfect. Put my X here and my pound sign. So on this column, I've got a pair of pound signs, which is 2. And then I've got 3 X's, which is 3. So this column here will give me 5 points at the end of the game. So I am very, very glad with that. Very glad to do that. Okay, next roll. A pound sign and 3 lines. Ooh. Now I've got a choice, because I could put my pound sign here knowing I could start doing the doubles or even get more of the pound signs in the diagonal, but I also have the 3 lines here that could get me some points. I think I'm gonna take the pound sign though, because I know it'll count twice for myself. And I will do the 3 lines here. Yeah, I'll do the 3 lines there. Okay. All right, next roll. A triangle and 3 lines. Well, that just worked out now, didn't it? So I'm going to put my triangle here and my 3 lines here. That just worked out wonderfully for myself. So there are some advanced rules. Let's see, advanced rules. Where do they show? They're like, advanced rules are included. So we are actually playing the advanced rules with the bonuses. So on the regular base game, you're only counting the horizontals and the verticals. But with the advanced variant, you could add the diagonals as well. So we are playing advanced because I think you all are pretty well advanced gamers in my book. If you've been streaming with me for a while, you can see that you all are pretty well off in your gameplay. So so yeah, so the base is if you just score 0, if you don't have any matching, then you score 0, but in the advanced, you would get -5. So I've been teaching this with the advanced variants, but that is fine in my book, I think. This game is easy enough to master that I think people would be totally fine with it. All right, 3 lines and a pound sign. Ooh. Three lines and a pound sign. Okay. We are so advanced, yes. So there we go. 3 lines and a pound sign is next on there. So we only have 1, 2, 3, technically 4 more rolls to place, 4 more combinations to place here. Let's see what we get. Triangle and an X. Well, I'm just going to build up my triangle game here. This middle column is a little problematic for myself. Oh, and I just hosed myself on this row, so I will get minus points for that, but that's okay. Maybe I can make up for it with the rest of these rows and columns. We shall see. We shall see. All right, triangle X was that last roll. And here we go. Triangle circle. Oh, geez. Triangle circle. Ooh, I might regret that decision, but we shall see. I could have played it over here if I wanted the circle, but getting 4 triangles is nice. It's very nice. Triangle circle. If this game is kind of a little confusing, don't worry about it. We will play another round. Again, this goes fairly quick. I could use 3 lines real bad. Oh yes, I think that was your starter. Yes or not? Well, there you go. 3 lines and a slash. How about that? Your wish is my command. There we go. 3 lines and a slash for both of you. Yeah, there we go. It's funny, these 3 lines remind me of like a drop down menu on like a website or something. You click on the 3 lines and it drops down. But for whatever reason, I always draw them like 3 tally marks. Yeah, it's just pretty funny. Pretty funny. Okay, final roll of this game, friends. We've got a slash and a triangle. So we've got slash and a triangle. I only got you half of what you asked for, Gus or not. Apologies. Slash and a triangle. Okay, friends, so let's count them up. Going across on our row, I have 2 triangles for 2 points, 2 of the 3 slashes for another 2 points, and the pound sign doesn't do anything for me, so that's only 4 in the row. This one, I only have the 2 pound signs, so 2 of matching are 2 points. This, I have nothing matching, even though I have 2 X's, they're not orthogonally adjacent to one another, so that's -5. Ouch. 31, not too shabby. 16, 2 -5s. Wow. Okay. 2 triangles, that's 2 points here. And I've got 3 slashes, so that's 3. So let's add them up here. 6 -5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 on this side. And then going down the columns, I've got 4 here for 8. And nothing here, so that's -5. 4 again for another 8. I've got 2 as a pair, so that's a twofer. And then I've got 2 and 3, which is 5. So these 5s cancel out. I got 10, 18, 18 on this row here. And then I'm going across. I only got the pair, so that's 2 and 2, which is another 4. So I've got 6 and 4 is 10, and 18 is 28. Ouch. That is not great, folks. Let us try a lot of 2s, not a lot of 5s. Yep. Oh, awesome. Maple Disney. Hello, Raiders. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We are just about going to start another game of crisscross. If you would like to play, feel free to grab a sheet of paper and a nice little grid. So yeah, thank you all for joining. So excited to have you all here. Hello, Panda Angel. Good to see you all. How was Stone Age? I know you all were playing that on Board Game Arena, I believe. Who won? It's been forever since I played on Board Game Arena. So, or Stone Age, actually. I've played quite a few games on Board Game Arena, but Stone Age, it's been a hot minute. Monique is following, watching an ad. Oh, let's see. Monique sends you her love. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So for folks that want to participate, we are playing Crisscross. If you haven't played this game, it's super quick, super fun. We are trying to connect symbols that are orthogonally adjacent in this 5x5 grid. These other extra row and column here are point score columns. So if you would like to play, oh, everybody's here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ross. Thanks for joining. We are just about to start crisscross. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, draw yourself out a 5x5 grid, and then draw an extra row at the bottom, an extra column on the right-hand side for your scoring. So in this game, there are 2 sets of dice with 6 symbols on each side, and you are trying to match symbols that are orthogonally adjacent to one another. with that, you will need to keep in mind that any symbols that are not adjacent to one another will give you minus points. I found out in the rules that we're actually playing the advanced variant, but I thought my followers and my streamer friends are advanced players that we can go past the base game, and we're going to play the advanced round, which means that we are also going to include this diagonal here from the bottom left to the top right. So any matching symbols that you hear on the diagonal will get scored twice. So every pair of symbols that you have that are orthogonally adjacent, either in a row or in a column, will score you 2 points. If you have 3 of a kind, that will give you 3 points. 4 of a kind gives you 8, and 5 of a kind gives you 10. If you do not have any symbols that are adjacent to one another that are matching, you will get -5. That's how we're playing in the advanced variant. We're doing -5. So I'll roll these up, and anyone that wants to participate, just let me know in the chat and I'll make sure to roll them for you, because we will each start with a different symbol here in the upper left-hand corner. Rolls will be continued in place. So every roll, you will get 2 symbols to mark somewhere on their grid. It does not have to be adjacent to any symbols that you have currently marked. You can place it anywhere on your grid. However, the 2 symbols that are rolled must be orthogonally adjacent to one another. So you must mark them so that you have these 2 symbols that are touching somewhere on an orthogonal orientation. Then we will go through and we will be rolling it. I kind of like to give the analogy of these 2 symbols are kind of like a tile, like in King Domino, where you have to rotate them and make sure they're orthogonally adjacent. So placement can be a factor. How you place them in your grid could matter, because it could possibly limit where you place things towards the end of the game. So we've got Gus or Not is back in. Yakmanda, are you going to be playing again? Oh, both Conrad and Monique say hi. Oh, they just followed and now have to wait until they can chat. Oh, thank you so much for all the new followers. Oh my goodness, I've got Monique is here. Oh, we got Sass. Oh my goodness. Legends DM is following. Oh goodness. All of you are wonderful people. I am so glad. So glad you are following. So glad you are here to just hang out and say hi and participate and possibly play some crisscross. Totally wonderful. Okay, so we've got Gus or Nuts in, Yakmanda's in. Panda Angel, do you want to play? You totally can. I can give you your own symbol, or if you just want to lurk, that's totally fine too. Ross, I'm not sure if you're still awake, my friend, but if you are more than welcome to. Everybody's welcome to play. So yes, I will give everybody their own symbol to start with. If you're still drawing your grid, cool. The darkened, like the shaded area here, just allows you to know that we are also scoring on this diagonal as well. So it will score twice. So any symbols, so let's say in this example, we have this here, and I'm doing all my triangle. I've got 3 triangles here. Maybe I've got the slashes and a pound sign. So on this diagonal, I only have 3 of a kind, which will give me 3 points, but I am scoring it twice. So that's where this other row and column come into play. So I will score it on both top and bottom here. So be mindful of that. But when you're placing things, they can only be placed orthogonally adjacent. So keep in mind when you're placing things as well. So like in this example, I've got the triangle and the slash. My triangle slash would have to go like here, or I can do my triangle slash like that. All right. Cool. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat. So Panda, I think you were saying that there was some delay on waiting to chat. I think they should be able to chat now. Yeah, I just loaded MooBot last week, so I'm still trying to sort MooBot out. But let me see. Okay, for now, we have got, let's give those that are going to be playing. Yeah, I want everybody to be able to get all these chats and things going on. Panda is lurking. Have a good lurk, Panda. Okay, cool. So I am going to give Yakmanda, you will start with the circle. Gus or not, you are starting with the triangle. And I am starting with the 3 lines. And if anyone else wants to come in and play, you will all get to start. Come on now, with the pound sign. Okay, here we go. So now we are back to starting us off. I've got the 3 lines going. Here we go. Oops, that did not go through. We've got a slash and an X. It hit the little road bump here. So we got slash and X are our first combos. Okay. So I'm going to do an X and a slash. See how that goes. X and a slash. So I kind of want to save myself some space to do the 3 lines here. We'll see how that goes. This game, like I was saying earlier, could be super easy to teach for like kiddos and stuff. I know I have a few family members that are in education, and a couple of you are in chat are also in education. This is a really kind of cool game to play virtually because really they don't need a copy of the game. They just need some blank paper and drawing out a grid. And you can use regular D6s if you wanted to. I like having these dice. I like having the copy of the game because I like to support game designers and local game stores if possible. But yeah, it's just 6 symbols, 2 dice, and trying to match the symbols as much as you can. So pretty straightforward, not a lot of strategy to it. You're basically at the luck of the dice, but also there could be some strategy in where you place things because it has to be orthogonally adjacent. Yeah, this is one of those games that I could pull out at any time and say, hey, let's play some crisscross. So we've got triangle and an X. That's going to help me on this column here. And yeah, so highly recommend this one. It's a Reiner Knizia, and if you're familiar with his works, I mean, he has a gamut of games to play. I always wonder if it's one of those where he's like, oh, you know, I totally just I thought about this as a game mechanic, maybe I'll just make it into a game. That's what I think he probably did, which is totally great. And I love it for him. He has some great titles. So, okie doke, here we go. I did not have to place these 2 next to each other, but since it was another X, I'm building up my column here. You don't have to place next to symbols that you've already written, but it is helpful if you're trying to get those matches together. So again, we've got an X and a slash. Okay. Well, that kind of answers my question. I'm going to do an X and a slash again. I swear there are other symbols on these dice. You saw there was a circle, there was 3 lines, there was also a pound sign. So there are some out there. Oh, hi, I can finally chat. Yes. Hi, Conrad. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I apologize. I was still figuring out MooBot, and I think there are still some settings that I need to add to filter when people can start interacting on the chat. But so good to see you. Hope you enjoyed playing Stone Age. It's been a hot minute since I've played that game, so it's really cool that you're able to do that on BGA. Oh, yes, you are welcome. And oh, Sass is here. Well, now I'm committed to, so keeping it up. All right. Oh, did you put the X's into your diagonals, Yakmanda? Because if you did, then yes, you are kind of at that space. All right, here we go. Oh, nope. Go down the dice tower. There we go. So we've got 3 lines in a triangle. Oh yeah, on one of them, yeah, okay. 3 lines and a triangle. Gonna do my 3 lines. Oh, where do I want to put those? 3 lines here, 3 lines here, in a triangle. Yeah. I have I had to wait up to 10 minutes. Oh, I'm so sorry, Legends. Yeah, but I appreciate you sticking around. Thank you for joining us. I will get that sorted, hot sorted. But yeah, so we're playing Criss Cross, and yeah, if you had any questions or anything, please feel free to pop in the chat. We played Qwixx earlier, really fun game, super easy to travel with too. I did find out there is an app with a score sheet on it, a phone app, so you can play this. So if you have, this is also another cool travel game. You just need 6 dice, 6 D6s, and that score sheet, and you can play. So a lot of the games here that I've got, the 10 field is not that big of a deal. Oh, thanks, Sass. I appreciate you saying that. And it kind of helps too. I think you're right, of like people wanting to really invest what you're doing, or if they're just channel surfing. I notice there are sometimes that I tend to channel surf on Twitch, and I go, do I want to wait and see what they're playing? No, I don't. Or yes, I really do, and I wait that 10 minutes before I interact. So I understand. But thank you for saying that. So yeah, so a lot of these games that I play on Wednesdays, I do the tabletop stuff, interacting a lot with you all in the chat. And then Fridays, I tend to do more digital streams. So this Friday at 3, I'm going to be doing possibly an adventure scenario on Steam. I've got a few in mind, and Steam just so happened to have a sale going on, which is, it's the holiday season, right? You got to throw your dollars and cents at something. But I'd much rather have it go to a better cause. But if there's some games that help me interact with you all, then cool. So yeah, there are a few things on my wish list through Steam that I think I might be purchasing this weekend, so I can have it for you all to play along with. That's my goal, is to build this community on here, to not make profit. You know, this was my job before the pandemic hit. So I did to do a lot of tabletop events and things too. But now having this virtual platform makes it a little more accessible for those across the pond, if you will. But yeah, I'm just super thankful. I'm just glad Panda said something. I often miss out on who's doing things. Yeah, Potion Explosion. 69 cents on Steam. Are you serious, Stas? Wow, Potion Explosion is great. I've been playing it on BGA, and I actually have the physical copy as well. But 69 cents, holy smokes. Yeah, that's pretty awesome sauce. So I'll need to go back on my wish list on Steam and play some things. Yeah, my filter is what can I play for you all to interact with, because I want to build this community, and Twitch, I mean, you've all have known, it's like I'm preaching to the choir here. Building this community is something that I feel like is a bigger part than trying to make money. If there are people that can benefit from making money off of it, cool, but that's not my goal. That's not the main reason that I'm here. So I do. Oh, you have the app on your phone. Oh my gosh, Panda, you are all over Potion Explosion. So yeah, Muba is posting on Patreon, our Patreon link. And you know, the way that I'm using my Patreon is basically just to give back to the community, to allow me to do this kind of stuff. So I'm not taking a paycheck from the Patreon at all. It's basically helping to, you know, have accounts like Steam, being able to do this on Zoom. Like I have a membership on Zoom. I'm going to be creating a YouTube account channel. So it's basically kind of just maintenance of keeping up with the feeds. So that's the main reason for my Patreon, is just support the community, support what we're doing. It's able to allow me to purchase some games. And like you can see some of the games that I have up here, we're all kind of a part of just this lovely community. So yeah, if you are interested in doing Patreon, I'm not gonna preach to the choir here. But if you are interested in supporting us through Patreon, please click on the link and find out how you can help. But yeah, I just love you all so much. 2020 has been quite the roller coaster ride for me, and I am just so thankful that I can come online here and you all can just warmly embrace me and my silliness and my just my random things that I do and say. And yeah, I haven't been in the industry very long, but I've been very fortunate to connect with wonderful people. I do a lot of work with Haba Games and T, and T has just been great to kind of mentor me and help me along the way. And I'm super thankful for them. I'm super thankful for a lot of folks like Ross too. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm just always like, oh, I want to like send all of you virtual hearts. I will get this emoji thing going as soon, but I'm more focused on just playing games with you all, you know, like not having these crazy emojis and all this silly stuff. I just much rather have a chat with you around a gaming table. And if I can play games like Criss Cross and Qwixx and, you know, other silly roll and writes with you all, then that makes my day. So, okay, if you all missed it, that last roll was an X and a pound sign. So here we go. An X and an O. All right. Well, X and an O. We'll do that. Well, if I place that here, then I will get minus points, but it'll help me on my diagonal. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Could place it here to get an X, but then an O here. I could do that here, X and O, possibly. Yeah, let's see what happens. If I do the X and I do an O, because remember, these symbols have to be orthogonally adjacent to one another. Maybe I can get an X and a pound sign down here and a triangle and some slashes up here. I don't know. We'll see. All right, sounds good, Maple Disney. Thank you so much. Thanks, Conrad. Yeah, you can exclamation point lurk, but I don't think it does anything. I'm learning. I'm learning. I realize there's a lot more things on as a mod too that I need to learn. And Panda Angel can probably give me a good tutorial on all of that. But I'm learning, so thanks for being patient on there. Yeah. So enjoy your foods. You just got your lurk command today. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Here's our next £, and 3 lines. Well, that's not what I was hoping for, but I will do 3 lines and £. Okay. So yeah, this Friday, I'm going to be doing some stuff on Steam, 3 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. GMT. I'm going to try to do the digital stuff on Fridays and more of the tabletop interactivity on Wednesdays. So if you all have any suggestions on games you want to play, I love teaching games. I love just sitting around at a table and walking through stuff with folks. So if you are curious about any sort of game, I'm not an expert. I don't know all the games. I'm going to make that very clear. But I have quite a good collection that I can walk through for folks, and I'm hoping to launch my YouTube channel towards Q1 of next year, so you all can kind of see some of the replays and stuff that I've been doing here on Twitch, because all of my videos currently are only 2 weeks. I have made up to affiliate status, as you can see, but I haven't gone through the steps yet on what exactly that means. It's still a learning curve for all of us, but or at least for me. I shouldn't say all of us. Some of you are more handy on the twitching than I am. Okay, so we've got a triangle and a slash. Well, that's not helpful for anyone, is it? Triangle and a slash. Well, at least, so it's either I put a triangle slash here and guarantee points, but minus points here, or I could try to put something here and hope for another slash and maybe expedite not getting minus points. Oh, no, what am I saying? Look what I have, the triangle slash. I have a triangle slash. Look at that. But I did give myself minus points there. Oh, well, that's okay. That is quite all right. So what did you all think of Stone Age? And have any of you played that before? I'm curious to see what you all think about the BGA stuff, releasing a game each day. Today was Concept. Concept is really, really cool, fun little party game that's been out for a long time. I was curious to see how that plays on BGA. I might check that out over the weekend. But yeah, there's some games on there that I haven't played before, and I was curious to try. I played a few games of Luxor. Yak Manda's excited about Concept. Yes, I know, we played that together. Luxor is an interesting one. Cacao. I saw St. Petersburg on there. I have not tried it yet. I feel like I need to have someone teach me the game first. My husband's really great at doing that. He's really good about reading through rule books and kind of walking through some stuff. But oh goodness gracious, look at that. But yeah, there's so many games on there that I'm like curious about, and then some that I hadn't even heard of that have been around for a while. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting challenge. I'm wondering if any of you have any in mind that you're like, oh my goodness, I definitely want to play this game, or I'm so excited that they have this game now on BGA. Yeah, I literally just rolled a triangle slash again. So we have two more rolls in this right now. And we shall see what comes about. My 3 splashes, they're just non-existent in this game. Yeah. What else is coming out that I was curious about? So I did Cacao and Luxor. Oh, Turn and Taxis. There was a person at a convention late last year that was telling me about this game, and they actually had the physical copy of the game and we're going to play it, but we never ended up getting it to the table because they had so many other games. But I learned how to play Turn and Taxis, and it's kind of Ticket to Ride-esque, but it's got a little bit of twist to it. Fun game, been around for a while. So that one's pretty cool. Got to do that on BGA. So who knows, maybe on these Friday streams, I could pull something out from BGA and play it online. Well, there's my 3 lines. It must have heard me. No, Jess, I am here. Can't you see? Can't you see? We got 1 more roll left to the end of the crisscross adventure. And see who is currently online. Michelle's got some stuff. Yeah. All right. Hello, Genuine. Thank you for the follow. We are currently playing Crisscross. Gonna wrap up here in just a minute, but thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. All right, friends, final roll. We got 3 lines and a slash. Okay, so my slash is gonna go here, and my 3 lines are here because of the diagonal. So how this works is we're gonna count our points across in the rows, and then we're gonna do the columns, and then we'll do this final diagonal. We're playing advanced variant, so if there's no matches, then you get minus points. So here we go. So I've got 2, I've just got a pair here. Even though there are 3 lines down here, it's not orthogonally adjacent to it. So I only have 2, so that's 2 points for this row. Again, I've got another pair, so that's another 2 points. Here, I don't have any that are orthogonally adjacent, so that's -5. I'm in the negatives now. Here, I only have a pair, so that's 2. 34, very nice, Gus or not. Here, I only have a pair, so that's 2 again. So 2, 4, minus 1, plus 4 is 3. So this gave me 3 over here. Awesome. Or 4, wait. Yeah, 3. Okay, now we're gonna do the column. So I've got a pair, 2 pairs, so that's 4 points. Then I've got another pair here for 2. This is no matches, so that's minus. This I've got just the pair, so that's 2. Here I've got 3 of a kind, so that's 3. So this -5 and this +5 cancel each other, so that's 6. And then let's count the diagonal, shall we? So I've got 3 of a kind plus 2 of a kind, which is 5 points. And then going back down this way, 5 points again, so I will add 10. So I got 19. No, wow, Yakmanda got 31. Very cool. At least no negatives. Very nice. I got 19. Not my best work. I have had some folks get into the negatives because they forgot that if they didn't match, they were just focused on the rows and the columns, that they forgot about the diagonals. But in the base game, to be fair, you don't count this diagonal section. You just do the rows and the columns. And if you don't have any matches, you give yourself 0 and not negative points. But like I said, we're advanced gamers here. We're going to play the advanced game. So here we are. This was Crisscross. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'm going to pop up back to the off the table view here. And I am so glad you all could join me today, tonight, whatever time zone you are in. Feel free to pop over. We are doing things on Wednesdays, 3 p.m., 11 p.m. GMT. You can also find out all the information about us on our socials. The bot just posted about our social medias where you can follow us on all the media socials and things like that. Let's see who is raiding. If anybody has any thoughts on who to raid, let's see, Board Game House. I'm not sure what they're playing. Let's see, what do they got? Yeah, if anyone has any suggestions on who to raid next, we'll just hand over the raiding love to the next gamer group. All right, thanks, Yakmanda. Happy holidays to you as well, my friend. We'll catch you possibly on Friday. Let's see. Looks like they might just be starting off here. Board Game House. Have a wonderful Christmas. All right, or there's also, I think Michelle is also, what is she up to tonight? She's doing Animal Crossing. All right, we're gonna do that, friends. We're gonna raid the lovely Michelle from Girls Game Shelf. She's doing some Animal Crossing. It looks like she's on the holidays. Oh my goodness gracious. So yes, happy holidays, everyone. You too, Panda. Thank you so much for the raid. Thanks, Conrad, and everybody that helped pass along the lovely raid here. It has been so nice to see you all. I will have us go and raid Michelle. We are going to raid. See you all on Friday. If not, have a wonderful Christmas, happy holidays, happy week, and I will see you all next time. Take care.